George W. Bush, the 43rd President of the United States, served 2 terms in office. His presidency spanned from January 20, 2001 to January 20, 2009. George Walker Bush was born on July 6, 1946 in New Haven, Connecticut to George H.W. Bush and Barbara Bush. He was raised in Texas and later attended Yale University and Harvard Business School. Before becoming president, Bush served as the governor of Texas from 1995 to 2000. His tenure saw reforms in education and health care, as well as controversial decisions on the death penalty. George W. Bush won the controversial 2000 presidential election against Democrat Al Gore. The election was notable for its recount disputes in Florida and the eventual Supreme Court decision in Bush v. Gore. One of the defining moments of Bush's presidency was the terrorist attacks on September 11, 2001. He responded by launching the War on Terror, which included the invasion of Afghanistan to remove the Taliban regime. Bush also led the United States into the Iraq War in 2003, citing concerns about weapons of mass destruction and Iraq's ties to terrorism. The war was highly controversial and led to significant political and international debate. During his presidency, Bush signed the No Child Left Behind Act into law in 2002, aiming to improve education standards and accountability in schools. The latter part of Bush's presidency was marked by the global financial crisis of 2008, which had far-reaching economic repercussions and required significant government intervention. In response to the 9/11 attacks, Bush signed the USA Patriot Act into law, granting law enforcement agencies increased powers to combat terrorism and enhance domestic security. The Bush administration faced criticism for its handling of Hurricane Katrina's aftermath in 2005 and for allegations of torture and abuse of detainees in the War on Terror. Bush was re-elected in 2004 and focused on issues such as immigration reform and attempts to privatize Social Security, though many of his policy initiatives faced challenges. Key moments and policies that defined George W. Bush's presidency.
Bill Clinton served as the 42nd U.S. president from 1993 to 2001. He was governor of Arkansas multiple times, emphasizing moderate policies merging democratic values with fiscal responsibility. His presidency saw economic growth, low unemployment, and higher GDP. Clinton signed the North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA, aiming to promote trade between the United States, Canada, and Mexico. He also signed the Personal Responsibility and Work Opportunity Reconciliation Act, reforming welfare programs. One of his major policy goals was health care reform, but his proposed plan, known as the Hillary Care Initiative after his wife Hillary Clinton, faced strong opposition and did not become law. President Clinton initially denied having a sexual relationship with Monica Lewinsky, famously stating, "I did not have sexual relations with that woman." The Monica Lewinsky scandal, involving an affair with an intern, led to impeachment in 1998 on perjury and obstruction charges. He denied the relationship but later admitted to it due to mounting evidence. The House impeached him, but the Senate acquitted him. Clinton facilitated peace in Northern Ireland, ended the Bosnia War, and improved relations with China and Vietnam. The Balanced Budget Act of 1997 aimed to cut the deficit. After office, he focused on public service via the Clinton Foundation, addressing global health, economics, disaster relief, and diplomacy, leaving a notable impact on American politics.
George H.W. Bush, the 41st President of the United States, served from 1989 to 1993. George Herbert Walker Bush grew up in a wealthy family and attended Phillips Academy before enlisting in the U.S. Navy. During World War II, Bush served as a naval aviator and was shot down over the Pacific Ocean. He was rescued by a U.S. submarine and received the Distinguished Flying Cross for his bravery. Bush entered politics after the war, serving as a congressman from Texas and later as the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations under Nixon. President Gerald Ford appointed Bush as the director of the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, in 1976, a position he held for just under a year. Bush was elected as vice president under Ronald Reagan in 1980 and served 2 terms from 1981 to 1989. He played a key role in foreign policy and crisis management during the Reagan administration. One of the defining moments of Bush's presidency was the Gulf War, 1990 to 1991, in which a coalition of nations led by the United States liberated Kuwait from Iraqi invasion under Saddam Hussein. The operation was known as Operation Desert Storm. He signed the Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA, into law in 1990. After leaving the White House, Bush remained active in public service, humanitarian work, and diplomacy. George H.W. Bush's presidency is often remembered for his diplomatic skills, foreign policy achievements, and his role in shaping the world during a critical period of global change.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe now at American Presidential History. Stay updated with the latest videos. Follow at American Presidential History for more content and shorts. Like, share, and support the channel's growth. Subscribe now. www.youtube.com, American Presidential History.
Welcome to American Presidential History. Dive into the captivating world of U.S. presidents through engaging stories that bring their lives, legacies, and the times they lived in vividly to life.